All right, fellas, today we're talking about some crowd pleasers, compliment getters, whatever you want to say or refer to these as. These are the fragrances that get people's attention. So, we do. You don't want to miss this. Let's get it. What's up, YouTube? It's Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy on the channel where we cover fashion and fragrance-related content. So, if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, man, I hope you won't mind subscribing to the channel. And if you do that, make sure you hit the bell icon as well. That way, when I upload new content on the channel, you don't miss out. So on today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about crowd-pleasing fragrances, or you could say complimented fragrances, whatever. I just know that these are the type fragrances that, in my experience, when you wear these kind of scent profiles, it gets people's attention. These fragrances are kind of easy to wear. I am not surprised in the least bit when I wear anything on this list today if I get a compliment. I'm not saying it happens all the time. I'm just saying more times than not, wearing a scent profile like the fragrances that I'm going to talk to you guys about today, it happens more times than not for me. So that's what we are going to be getting into on the video today. Now, I don't wear fragrances for compliments. I could care less, honestly, if I get a compliment. But it is cool when people comment or compliment you, or compliment me, I should say, on whatever fragrance I'm wearing. I'm sure the rest of you out there feel that way as well. There's nothing wrong or nothing negative about somebody saying, hey, you smell nice. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the intro, guys, and coming up after the intro, 10 crowd-pleasing fragrances that if you have not sampled, and that's your thing, I think that you guys will be interested in seeing what's on this list. So you know the routine, you know how we do. Keep it locked right here.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Now, this first fragrance up comes from the house of Ramon Monegal. And I know there's another fragrance from this collection that gets a lot of love and a lot of attention, and I think rightfully so. It's an amazing fragrance, but I'm talking about La Isla Blanca. Now, there's another fragrance from this, what is called the Ibiza collection. And this is a crowd-pleasing fragrance. This one is called Cafe Del Mar. Cafe Del Mar. And listen, if you're into compliments, if you're into crowd-pleasing fragrances, man, you gotta get your nose on this one. I described it before and I said it has an aquatic vibe. So put like an aquatic touch on like a Dylan Blue kind of fragrance, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. It's not, doesn't smell exactly like that, but that's what I think about when I smell it. But what's in here, man, really get some apple. And I love that fruitiness in the opening. There's apple, but there's also a note of seaweed. So that gives that really oceanic kind of tropical feel to the fragrance, which would kind of tie it into that whole Ibiza collection. All right, but you get that, the seaweed, you get the apple, you get lavender, but you also get some coffee in this fragrance. Again, coffee, and I think there's tonka bean on the dry down. Amazing fragrance. This is what some people would probably call a good bro fragrance. It's just like you see a bunch of guys on vacation and they're walking around, headed down the strip, close to the water, and they walk by and all of them smelling like this. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of sort of, but it works. And that's why a lot of people gravitate to this kind of scent DNA. But anyway, kind of a hidden gem, guys, when you talk about those mass appealing complimented kind of fragrances. Check this one out. I'm telling you guys, this will get you a lot of attention. This is from the Ibiza collection from the house of Ramon Monegal, and again, this is called Cafe Del Mar. Now, this next fragrance to me was kind of the redheaded stepchild of this whole collection. From the house of Giorgio Armani, this is Acqua di Gio Absolute. And I've talked about this fragrance a couple times. Again, I don't know if people were just expecting something different, because it's not really that much like the original Acqua di Gio. But it's a more, to me, even a more kind of fruity, mass appealing kind of take on that DNA. There's a slight resemblance to the original. A little bit, there's a slight aquatic vibe that may remind you of the original, but this goes in a lot more of a playful, fruity, sweet kind of direction. I think there's apple and pear in here on the top, so you get that nice fruitiness that I'm talking about. And then it dries down, you start to get some sweetness in here as well. So I think that's what may have kind of thrown some people off, but I'm telling you, it's a mass appealing compliment getter. This is the kind of fragrance that the average person is going to smell on you and be like, God dang, that smells good. Yep, that's what this is. So check it out from the house of Giorgio Armani. Again, it's called Acqua Di Gio Absolute. Now this next fragrance, I don't even have to say a lot about it. You guys know that this one is tested, tried, and true. It's from the house of Creed, and this is Aventus Cologne. This is one of my favorite dumb reach fragrances because I know regardless of where I'm going or what I'm doing, I can put this on and smell amazing. And that's just what it is, man. This fragrance works for me all the time. Someone asked me on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you waiting for? Somebody asked me on Instagram, I posted a clip of a series that I'm in. So if you guys don't know about that, check it out. It's on Tubi now. It's called Secrets in Plain Sight. Your boy is in it, so you need to check it out. But anyway, someone asked me a question when I posted the clip on Instagram. What was I wearing in that scene? I was wearing this. True story. It works, guys. It's a crowd-pleasing fragrance for sure. I always get compliments when I wear this fragrance. So check it out from the house of Creed, man. Aventus Cologne. All right, this next fragrance was one of my favorite designer fragrance releases. I think this was last year, 2021. It's from the house of Prada, from the Luna Rosa collection. This is Luna Rosa Ocean. Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. I love this fragrance. I absolutely love this fragrance. Another kind of dumb reach fragrance. For me, this is a lot of juice missing out of this bottle. So all the way down to here. And for me, again, that's saying something because I have so many fragrances and I reach for this a lot because I know it works. You know, it has a nice, this one has this nice combination of lavender, iris, and it's caramel on the dry down. So that gives a very unique kind of creamy, sweetness to this fragrance that I wasn't really expecting that, but I do sincerely enjoy it. And again, because it's oceanic and because it has lavender and it's sweet, people gravitate to this kind of scent DNA. So check it out if you haven't for some reason. A crowd-pleasing fragrance for sure. This one is called Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. Now, another one for me that's very much crowd-pleasing is from the house of YSL. It's from their private collection. This one is called Trench. And this fragrance is really based around the note of iris. It's based around a note of iris, and it has a nice creaminess that comes from fig as well. It's powdery from the iris, and then that creamy, fruity fig in here is amazing. It just work well together. So again, if you're looking for something, it's going to be crowd pleasing, get you a lot of attention and compliments, guys. This does it for me. This one works. It's from the house of YSL. Again, this is called Trench. Now, a fragrance in this genre that needs no introduction. A lot of people have mentioned this fragrance when they talk about most complimented fragrances and things of that nature. And this is from the house of Chanel, and this is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Now, this one is an oldie, but it's a goodie. All right. You have that it's a nice creamy orange citrus fragrance, really with tonka bean and sandalwood. That's really the highlights of this fragrance. So you get that creaminess in there, and you get that sweetness from the tonka bean with a nice orange citrus opening. It works. So check it out from the house of Chanel. This is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Now, this next fragrance comes from the house of Bond Number 9. And I will tell you, again, when you talk about mass appealing fragrances, crowd pleasers, this is at the top of the list for me. And this one is called HTTP or bondnumber9.com. Now, you're supposed to be able to scan the QR code somewhere. I think it may have been on the box, and then it takes you to the website or something. I never tried it, so I don't know if it works or not. But anyway, this particular fragrance does work. All right, this does work. It does kind of resemble Creed Aventus. It's the most, because they actually talked about scent of peace resembling Aventus. Not really to me, but this one does. but this is a more fruity interpretation of the DNA. So if you really like the Aventus batches that are really fruity and has a lot of the pineapple and not as much of the smoke, this is the kind of fragrance you want to check out, because that's exactly what this is to me. But again, just like Aventus Cologne or pretty much any other fragrance that has anything to do with Creed Aventus, it gets a lot of attention. So check it out from the house of Bond Number 9. This is called HTTP or bondnumber9.com. All right, this next fragrance is a designer scent, and another one that you should not be surprised to find on a list like this. It probably works for you, and guess what? It works for your boy too. This is from the house of Paco Rabanne. This is 1 Million Lucky. 1 Million Lucky. I heard that one time this was discontinued. I don't know how true it is, but I know that's good. Plum hazelnut. So this plum hazelnut kind of honeyed fragrance right here is very, very mass appealing. Again, you can see, to say I have so many fragrances, I definitely get my usage out of this one, man. I hope it's not discontinued, because probably another fragrance I need to try to get a backup bottle of before it starts to be out there on the market going for around $200-300, because I'm not paying that for it. But at about $100 or so, maybe 120 if I can find it, definitely one that I want to keep around and have for a long time. So anyway, definitely a crowd pleaser. You guys have tried this. The ones that have, I know you know what I'm talking about. People love this. Ladies are really drawn to this fragrance. It is a lucky fragrance. Check it out from the house of Paco Rabanne. It's 1 Million Lucky. Now, these last two, I'm definitely not spending much time on these, because you guys already know these rock it out when we talk about crowd pleasers. But this is from the house of Parfums de Marly. It's this bad boy, Leighton. And I know I haven't talked about Leighton as much lately, because again, man, when you get so many new fragrances in and stuff like that, you start to kind of spend more attention with other fragrances and stuff like that. But this is always going to be one of those fragrances that when you think about mass appealers and crowd pleasers, this one is at the top of the list as well. It just smells great, man. The apple cardamom combo in this fragrance is to die for. Love this fragrance. So if for some reason you're just getting into the hobby and haven't really delved into niche yet, this is one of the ones I like to recommend people try as one of their introductions, because it's really, really good. From the house of Parfums de Marly, of course, this is called Leighton. And last but not least, I'm not going to even talk about the fragrance, just going to show you the bottle. Compliment crowd pleasing certified from the house of YSL. This is Y. And why should you try Y? Because I said so. No, I'm kidding. You should try it because it's a really good fragrance. Again, if you're looking for compliment getters, crowd pleasers, this is still one of the best in the game, especially on the designer side. So check it out. This is from the house of YSL. This is Y, and this right here is the EDP concentration, but you can get the EDT, the EDP, the Parfum, the Eau de Parfum, whatever. All of them work. Check it out. But that's it, guys. That's my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I gave you 10 fragrances in my collection that are guaranteed crowd pleasers. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. You guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. And don't forget to take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're sharing these videos out, guys, to some other folks out there that you think could use this information, or maybe even find it to be a little bit entertaining. Whatever it is, I sincerely appreciate it, because I'm your guy, the bow tie fragrance guy that is. I love looking good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better, and I will catch you on the flip side.